Welcome back to Beyond the Trenches presented by One Mike Media. And we are here today to discuss week 3 of the NFL season, giving all of our thoughts, our opinions, and of course, wanting to give what we think will happen next week. We got to bring these guys in one by one, but this week we're going to give our fantasy updates as we bring them in. So I feel bad for this guy, but I know his team going to get it together. Right now, he 0-3, but I actually feel like it'll come together. And he lost this week. My man Jordan. What's good, Jordan?
It's good, bro. I appreciate the encouragement. I need it.
I like your draft. I told you, man. So I feel like it's going to come together,
Yeah, I
man.
mean, there's a chance I could be cooked, but I hope you're right.
Next up, man, we're not haters here at Beyond the Trenches, so we got to give praise where praise is due. This guy, is 3-0. He taking the league by storm this year. Maybe on the way to the chip. What's good, Toby?
Man, what's good, man? I'm 3-0. I don't know if I'm going to the chip yet. I like getting in the dance. I'm happy with my start, and I feel like I got a good squad. So, I feel like I could go all the way though.
Now these last two are very
I
interesting
feel
to
like you
me
can go all the
because
way.
because
Nice,
this guy here,
nice.
he had the biggest upset in history last week and was talking
Reason.
shit all week because he beat the defending champ, and we thought maybe his team might go on to be good, but instead he went right back to who we thought he was, and he lost the following week. And that's my guy Daryl. What's good, Daryl?
What's it good, Mike? I mean, every most majority of the teams above me, I score more than, so I ain't in panic mode. We still good. Only three
Okay,
weeks in.
that's good. And last but not least, this guy here, he thinks he's in a rivalry with me, but the facts are that whether it's playoffs, regular season, he doesn't beat me. So, and this week it happened once again, and with me having a lot of points on my bench as well. But let him speak for itself. What's good, Jeff?
What's up, man? Like you're a funny guy, man.
Not gonna be a
What time?
funny.
What time the comedy hours start? Like you funny
All
guy, man.
right. I mean, I just, I want to give you a special introduction. You know
You're a
what I mean?
funny guy, man.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So we here to discuss the week in football. And let's get it going. I got the topics going. I'm so busy doing that. But all right. So let's go first and foremost. First topic was Monday Night Football. So we had two games that night. We had the Bills and the Jaguars, and the Bengals and the Commanders. The Bills smoked the Jaguars start to finish, and then the Bengals upset by the Commanders, which turned out being a good game. So, Daryl, I want to start with you. Which game you want to talk about, and what are your thoughts on either game or both games? It's up to you.
I'm gonna talk about the Commanders Bengals. I mean, that other game, Bills Jags, they could have put that 1 o'clock Sunday. No one would
Yeah.
have batted an eye. Like they could have got that out the way. But with this game, I was impressed by the rookie. Like this is my first time like sitting down and really watching Jaden Daniels, and I was amazed. I was amazed. I didn't know he was like that for real. Like making it, he can make every throw, and I was surprised at how well he can move. Like he can separate, he can juke people, juke defenders and stuff. I was amazed, impressed. Record breaking completion percentage so far as like a rookie so far, and I think that was a sneaky good pickup. Getting Cliff Kingsbury as the OC, just kind of marrying that like the college offensive mindset with what he likes to do. I think that was a good pickup. You saw a good play calling against the Bengals defense last on Monday as well. Um, as far as I see why now IU wanted to kind of what this is one of his destinations as far as when he was trying to move. I think him and Jaden Daniels they was teammates in college, if I'm not mistaken. But I can see why now he wanted to. What that was one of his choices, just playing with Daniels. The connection with Terry, I think, is going to improve. It's going to make Daniels better even more as the year goes on. They finally connected on, especially on some two big plays that were game changing as well. Especially that last touchdown, the rush coming, and he just threw it up to Terry right on time, right on the money. And also they got two good running backs as well, with Robinson and Eckler making plays as well. So I think they're gonna make some noise. They was kind of slept on as far as like new coach, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. Might be like in sort of like a rebuild situation, but they can make some noise in that division, and they could actually be a wild card team just based on what I've seen. Going on the road, beating Burrow. with Higgins and Chase back. That's not to be slept on. So I left the game feeling better about the Commanders' outlook so far. The Bengals defense is a big issue. I mean, as far as like who they play, they started playing. I think the first game was the Patriots. I think they held them. I mean that's not really too much to do. But since then, going against the Chiefs and now the Commanders, giving up 300 yards and 400 yards both of those games, they got to do something about the defense. It's them missing Mixon is very glaring. Like Mixon did a lot as far as receiving and running the ball. They try to replace him with Chase Brown and I think the other bull, I forget what his name is. But them two, they can't replace that void. And now it's putting more onus on Burrow to step up. Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns. But as far as that defense, like if you scored 33, you post. I mean, especially with Burrow at the helm, you're supposed to win that game. That defense, he's going to have to play even more to his standard with that defense playing how it is. I think Higgins eventually getting back healthy, getting 100%, put him on the other side with Chase. That's going to help eventually. But Burrow, I think he's going to have to take another level as far as his play if they want to go somewhere, do something this year.
Agreed. Jordan, what you feel about either game on Monday night, and your thoughts, or pick one, however you want to do it. You hear me, Jordan? Yo.
I can hear you, but I don't know if he can.
All right,
But with that said, I got you.
All right.
So I mean, the game I want to talk about is actually the Jags game. And I know it was a blowout, but that's the problem. That it was a blowout. For 3 years we've been waiting for Sunshine to kind of show us that winning trajectory that he had in college. And I thought marriaging him and Dougie P would have been the thing right there because he was really good with a young quarterback before, and Carson Wentz kind of helped the team get to the Super Bowl at some point. But it's been an atrocity. The Bills look like they look nice. They look like what I believe is happening is I think we talked about it before. The addition by subtraction. You got rid of Stephon Diggs, who was a ball hog, essentially wanting the ball all the time, forcing Josh Allen to give him the ball, and now you got somebody who can just spread it around. James Cook is a premier running back in this league. We got to definitely address that. Dalvin Cook's little brother. He definitely runs the ball well. He catches out the backfield. He's shifty. He's got moves, and he's getting in the end zone, so that's all that's really good. I mean, the game itself was crazy because, the Bills just did whatever they wanted to do. I think it was the first 5 drives, they was putting touchdowns up on the board, and it just shows you the contrast between the winning people and the losing people. The Jaguars, they got weapons. They got ETN. They just bought in Thomas Jr. this year. And I don't know when it's going to marry. I know they missing Evan Ingram, which is a big play because last year he led the league. I think he led tight ends and catches or something like that. So that was big for him. But Dougie P got to get it together. I mean, he immediately on the hot seat right now. They just gave Sunshine the $55 million. He's got to play up to it, and he hasn't done that at all. I don't know what's going on, but I definitely feel like you might need a change of voice in the headset, and I think Dougie P might be out. But like I said, the game was just an overhaul, just old school, take him to the shed, butt whooping. And it was bad to have that on Monday night for ratings. But again, the Bills are just starting to look, they just look better. They just look all the way around better. Keynote, it's funny, Damar Hamlin has finally gotten his first interception in the NFL. That's crazy. All the notoriety and publicity he got basically dying on the field, and essentially, and he's just getting his interception, first interception in the league, and that's good. Good for him. I think the Bills missed Tre'Davious White, even though I know he wasn't healthy as much. But on offense, they just look unstoppable, man. I look forward to seeing what they do.
All right, Toby, your thoughts on either game?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Washington game. First of all, real quickly, I'm happy Washington won. They beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati's now 1-3. Good for the Steelers. Go Steelers. But McDaniels, I was surprised by what I seen. This is somebody that looks like he's the real deal. Still early, but I see a lot of potential there. This is what I see in elite, quarterback. This is what I see in the difference between you watch him and then you watch Brock Purdy, for example, and you this guy has more potential. Let's be real for a second though. He has more potential. You can see the superstar potential in his game, and Washington is going to be a threat. I think they'll probably be a threat to the Eagles. They might steal a game. They might steal a game from all the teams in that division. Yeah, that's all I'll say about them. I think they got probably the potential second or best quarterback in that division.
Jordan, yours now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Also on either game from Monday night, bro.
I'll start with the Bengals and the Bengals game. Sad outing for the Bengals. Like we've seen this before within the last 2 years. They started off slow. I don't think they've ever started off 0-3. I don't know what it is. The defense is looking like lunch though, and that's never was the case with them. And offense, they seem to not be able to create them explosive plays that they used to. Chase had 2 tuds on some big plays, but other than that, it doesn't seem like they've been able to really. It doesn't seem like they can sustain drives for whatever reason. You tell me. I don't know. I thought Washington, they have their quarterback. I think I said it in the chat. I think he's by far the most athletic QB in the league. He's got all the tools. Not surprised he's playing well. He's better at playing on time and anticipating than Caleb Williams is and was, even though Caleb Williams I think will still be a good player. I think that's just why Jaden Daniels is playing a little bit better than he is right now. And Jaden Daniels is a little bit more seasoned as well. He's a 4-year starter, in college. So the Bills and the Jaguars game, like I think we talked about it last year, and I even saw something on Instagram about Trevor Lawrence, but he got the money last year, and he was hurt on and off, right? Like Doug P might be on the hot seat because they have too much talent for them to look the way that they do, and he hasn't really lived up to the contract so far. He's really only had one good season so far, to be real, and if we're being, you know what I'm saying. I don't know what else they need. I think they do need a better receiver. And he has to play better.
He was playing all right last year before he got hurt, though. I mean,
I didn't think he.
It was 8-3 before he got hurt.
They started off slow, right? They got on a roll, but they was all close games. They wasn't really punching on nobody. Like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? So, they pulled a lot of close games out at the end, and he played well. You're right. You feel me? But I just think he definitely needs to show more. As far as the Bills, I just really think that, right, I think one of y'all mentioned it, Josh Allen was playing more free, without, really having Stephon Diggs there. The offense has changed to more of a dominant run game. We've been asking for the Bills to run the ball for the last 3-4 years, so Josh Allen didn't have to do all the crazy shit that he was doing, and that's happening, you feel what I'm saying? And he's still putting up Superman elite-type numbers without having to be elite or Superman every single down. So that's, you know what I'm saying, a key for him. I think that's going to be a nice recipe. And quietly, their defense is not that bad. It's not horrible. It'll be middle of the pack. As long as they're middle of the pack, he can make up for whatever deficiency that they have, no matter what. But the way that their offense runs, it's almost like, okay, they won't have it. It'll be designed to be up, and that defense can go hunt. Rousseau and Miller are a nice Rousseau, that defensive end they got, and Von Miller, that's a nice pass rush combo right there. That Rousseau is getting nice. So they could really be something. They look like the best team. Shit.
The way they play offensively, they sustain long drives. So the defense is on the sidelines a lot too. So that can help.
They got next 3 tough games. They got the Ravens, they got the Texans, and the Jets. So we'll see what's really coming out of this.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, Jeff, and all you guys. I think to Jordan's point about defense, I think with the Bills, I'll start with McDermott will always have a pretty good defense. That's what he does, stuff like that. His problem was in-game decisions, I feel like, and then he had a lot of turnovers from Josh Allen, but they didn't change the offense like you said. So I think this might be Allen MVP season. I think. I wish I would have bet him before the season started as a future, but whatever. With the Jags though, I feel like Dougie P's done, man, because they gave Lawrence all that money, but he got like a four-year deal, so they can't get rid of him. So somebody got to go. It's gonna be Dougie P. They're gonna say maybe we get a new coach in here with the quarterback. They're gonna try to do that.
Belichick.
And unfortunately, it's
No,
gonna be that.
ain't gonna be Belichick.
Ain't gonna be
Ain't gonna be
Belichick.
Belichick. I don't think it's gonna be
He
Belichick.
might be though. He got Florida don't got no state taxes. He'll get a little check. He'll be able to be with a
Low
quarterback.
key though, like going back to the Bengals, but keeping with the Jags, like Zach Taylor, I don't think I think he only alright, but the Bengals OC is now the Jags OC. So I feel like he wasn't his whole culture tree is trash, honestly. So I just feel like that. I'm telling you, his brother, the coach of Tennessee, 0-3 too. So I feel like that whole tree is trash or whatever. So I just feel like that that it's gonna be a long year for the Jags, and the Buffalo gonna do their thing with the other game. Y'all kind of touched on everything with that, so I don't want to keep this too long. So, but next we're gonna talk about the Chiefs. Chiefs survived the Falcons Sunday Night Football. Jeff, why don't you start with that? How you felt about that game in both cities?
It was a good game, and the reason I say it was a good game because the Chiefs haven't really hit that. They haven't hit the third gear yet. I mean, they going through the beginning. They gave us the wow in the preseason to let us see what's going on. Pat's a little off. I think the play calling is really kind of stale right now. Honestly, I'm not seeing him do a lot of bootlegs. I'm not seeing too much play action. I think the missing Pacheco piece is going to be important because if you don't have that running game to kind of balance out and bring linebackers and cornerbacks up, he can't take those deep shots over the top to Xavier Worthy. He can't hit Kelsey going across the middle. But again, they still the two-time defending champs. I'm not really concerned with it at all. Pat Mahomes got an interception in probably every single game this season, which is something that I'm expect because he's trying to do too much. He's just trying to like run, kind of wow us out right now. But once Andy start getting the good calls in the play, and they'll be all right. As far as the Falcons go, Kirk Cousins still hurt. I mean, he came back from an Achilles. He's 38 years old. I mean, he's pretty old. I think probably about mid-season. I'll say about week 6, week 7, we'll see them start to hit the pedal. They got their own division, which is you got games to get the Panthers. I don't care who's at quarterback. You're gonna get some of those. You probably definitely you're gonna get some of those at the Panthers. Don't even make that face like them Jones' gimmies against real good teams. Yeah, right. So, like I said, they'll probably get one against the Saints. I'm more concerned about what Derek Carr's going to look like, but I'm saying the Falcons are going to be in the mix no matter what. They're going to be in the middle. They have too much talent. They have a really solid quarterback. Raheem Morris will go ahead and get the defensive side locked up and get them playing a lot better. I mean, again, they didn't give up a bunch of points to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs just don't have balance. So it was a really good measuring stick for the Falcons to kind of see where they are. And, as the season goes on, we'll go figure it out. But the Chiefs are still, in my opinion, on track to make the playoffs, probably to the AFC Championship. I just don't know about the Chief Pete yet, the Chief 3-peat, but I think they'll be in their runnings.
I don't know if you watched the game or not, but Toby, what's your thoughts on
Tobyism?
No, I actually did watch the game. I don't know if I got every second of it, but I've seen the important moments. Right. And I'll be quick on this. You're not going to be able to beat the Chiefs in close games. Let's go. I'll talk about one play because I think the Falcons at the end of the day they played a good game. After the Steelers locked them up, we held them to 10 points. They beat the Eagles and they go toe to toe with the Chiefs a little bit. They had a big opportunity because if you remember, Kyle Pitts in the back of the end zone was a pass interference, but it doesn't get called. That's why you're playing the Chiefs in a close game. The refs are going to give it to them. Let's rewind back to last week when the Bengals was playing the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes made that pass, and then they called pass interference. Instant flag. You can't get nowhere close to the Chiefs receiver. You can't do nothing. I don't know how you guys. Mike's going like that, but when it's the other team, interference. When it's the other team, okay. So what about Kyle Pitts? That was the pass interference. I mean, we're talking about that. Where's the consistency? Everybody's okay with it, bro. They're in their pocket. I'm trying to tell you, you're always gonna see a play. I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna see a play every game where they're going to cheat the other team. Pat Mahomes gonna get that call, dog. It's hard to beat them, but the Steelers could do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
But you acting like
I'm surprised at the result because the Chiefs are supposed to beat the Falcons. I'm surprised how the game went. They didn't get blown out. They competed. They contended with them. So, but they got cheated. That would have put them. They could have got a TD off that. That put them at the 1-yard line.
The Chiefs earned it. They Super Bowl champs. They should get a little bit of leverage. Like, come on, let's be real. Like in every sport, the champ gets a little bit more leverage than normal people.
They will definitely 3-peat then. for sure.
In week 3 though, like you don't need no gimmies in week 3.
You just said the Steelers could beat them.
Bro,
but
they
Go ahead,
get beat
Daryl.
whenever they
About
want.
the Steelers
They
and I mean,
want.
yeah,
But
Steelers. Falcons and the Chiefs. Daryl, what's your thoughts on the game?
Y'all start with the Chiefs. This game really reminded me how I thought that before this season started, the Chiefs were going to kind of coast through the season. This game was a reminder I was wrong. Like every game could be a fight with them just based on injuries. Unfortunately, but the biggest thing that stuck out to me is Kelsey is still taking a back seat to Rice. Like Rice had 12 catches, 110 yards, and touchdown. Like, those were Kelsey numbers over the last few years. I don't see. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm not sure if this is a game plan or Kelsey's not 100%. I don't know what the issue with that is, but I feel like for them to unlock another level offensively, they need to get him the ball more. I like how they even with Pacheco going down, gave the rookie steal. I'm not sure if he's a rookie, but gave him 17 carries. That showed me that they're not going to go away from the run game, which I like. Then they trust him with the ball. But I do feel like they need to include Kelsey more in these situations. I'm not sure if it's like the defense keying in on him and is letting Rice and everybody else try to eat, but they need to figure out how to get Kelsey the ball. As far as the Falcons, I like how Falcons. I like how they show fight. I thought this was going to be, especially how they played against us and the Eagles. I thought, well, they came back against the Eagles, but they still kind of struggled. I thought they were going to. I didn't mean to get that jig, Jordan, but I thought they were going to struggle this game. I think I kind of overreacted after week 1, especially after seeing like the Saints and Buccaneers start out. Now I think that the Falcons, they have a chance to win this division. They got a big game against the Saints, I think, next week. That's going to tell us a lot about both teams. I think they need to get more creative offensively, like play calling. I think that was the reason why Arthur Smith got fired, because they wasn't really creative offensively. Like, I don't think Bijan is still not getting enough touches. I do like Mooney and how he's stepping. I forgot that they signed him in the offseason. He's a former 1,000-yard receiver in the league. Him and London can be great as far as a 1-2 tandem. But I do feel like they need to get more creative and use their weapons more if they're going to take that next step, especially in that division.
Jordan, what's your thoughts on the Falcons and the Chiefs, bro?
So, like, the Falcons, I just think that they are a good team. They have a good defense. I think they'll be competing at every game that they're in. I think the offense is just trying to get rolling and see how, you know what I'm saying, he's adjusting to these new receivers, you know what I'm saying, the new offense. I think this is still going to be a good team. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, like, I don't really ever care what I see from the Chiefs, because, like, we've seen it time after time. Like, they go through certain lows through the season or whatever. Me and Jeff talked about it last year when everybody was talking about last year. They was about to slide off. They don't look good. We like, nah, they just doing shit, seeing what they can do. That's what they doing. See, defenses are making sure that Kelsey doesn't eat. You feel what I'm saying? So, right, it's time for Rasheed Rice to take them numbers, you feel me, and eat. And he's their number 1 right now. You feel what I'm saying? But how great is it to have your number 2 as Travis Kelsey? Then once they get Xavier Worthy, he's a rookie. He'll start to get better every week. They still got Juju, and Marquise Brown is you know, they say January, but you know, that nigga might come back in November. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? They might come back week 10, like, oh yeah, he's ready to go. You know what I mean? So I think the Chiefs will be fine. Like, you know, at the end of the day, no matter what they do, it goes through Mahomes. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're getting to the Super Bowl. You have to beat Pat Mahomes. So whoever's the only person I give credit to that's already done it is Joe Burrow. Everybody else got to drop their nuts and go do
it. I put Rodgers in that conversation. So.
We're gonna find out.
Bills ain't in that conversation. We know that.
Who?
Bills.
We're gonna talk about
that. Damn.
Calling a spade, you know. So
we'll get to the Steelers later on. But as far as Chiefs and the Falcons, y'all, I agree with everything y'all said. Kelsey, I think he just lost a step. I think y'all
Nah, bro.
Like,
he was I don't
think
bro.
he had the breakaway speed.
He had that nigga. They had showed a route. One of them games he did. Boy, smoking dirty.
I think he can do that.
And he
Like,
ain't get the ball. You feel me?
I feel you every now and
yeah.
again, but I don't think he can do it consistently. I don't think he like wash, but I think he might be like want to be with his brother, like making commercials, chilling. I think he ain't all the way. He talked about retirement last year, if you remember. I don't think he all the way in it all the way to me.
Yeah, it's too early. He probably like, man, I'm ready to get to the fucking
Playoffs.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's all they play for. Him and Kelsey right now. That's all they play for is Super Bowl.
Yeah, so it's good for Rice.
They can
to
get bored in the season.
Rice to get all the reps. Rice eating. The good thing about Juju, he's been there before, so
Right.
you know he know all the routes. Just like that one touchdown play. That was it was supposed to be for Rice. Rice got hurt. Juju know the same route and he scored a touchdown. So
It changed.
yeah, he a chain mover too. And then for them, it's all about two people really: Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. As long as they got those two, they're a problem, bro. Like you know what I mean. So he a record and he a record on that side. With the Falcons though. I don't know, man. I was watching Kirk, and I was like, I think he gonna hold them back to me because it's
I
like,
think that.
I was watching some plays, and I know he ain't never been like, no crazy mobile quarterback, but now I think he's timid to even try to take off. They had a 3rd and 2, B. This nigga had all day in the world.
He did.
Patting. You see that shit?
Patting,
right?
Yeah.
And it was an open lane. He could have got 2 yards.
Yeah.
And this nigga, I think got sacked or something like that. I remember.
He did.
And I'm like, bro, come on. So I think he like scared to run. When you talk about 3rd and 6, we talking about 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, come on. So I'm like, I think Kirk, he still can sling it. Like they can always be able to sling it down the field. But if and even the one sack, the blind side sack, he didn't even feel that shit. Y'all saw that one where he came around the corner, and I was like, "Yo, that's
coming on the Achilles, man. I mean,
Man, them shit's coming, boy. He ain't quick on his feet. Them boys.
that's what I'm saying, yo. It's like
he's further behind his recovery compared to Rodgers. Like Rodgers got hurt early in the year. He got hurt like midway.
Right now, he gotta have a perfect pocket, Kurt, and just be able to flank him.
Yeah, but he always been like that. But
he just roll out. He do play action, all that.
Yeah, he can still do that shit.
He can't move it down the pocket.
I'm watching the highlights right now. He moving a little gimpy.
I'm telling you, yo.
Bro, he had his Achilles, like we said, midway.
Yeah,
and Rodgers
3rd and 2 was
didn't
crazy.
play all preseason.
Right.
He looked all right.
His
Achilles looked all right when he had to move around in the pocket in that fucking 2 minutes.
Who?
He barely moved.
He hadn't moved. He only had no pressure.
Going down your throat.
You ain't said no pressure. You ain't pressed.
He moved around a little bit.
No pressure.
He had to move a little bit. And he had a couple rollouts.
Yo.
Like it ain't like he
roll out.
Tom Brady slow. Ain't like he Tom Brady.
Right now, he might be Brady slow. Like today, he might be Brady slow. Like right now, he wasn't though. That's my point. He wasn't like that. But I like the weapons. London, Mooney. They don't use Pitts right, like Jordan was talking about. Wish they could use him a little bit better. And a running back is good, but I feel like that if they had somebody a little bit more, they could do a lot. I don't feel like now they might win because the Bucks are banged up, especially in defense. They're missing like 2 starting safeties, I think, right now. So, and the Saints, Jeff Saints, we never know with them. We'll see what happened to them, this last game or whatever like that. So
we had to humble that shit.
Stop it.
We'll get to the Saints a little bit later, but Chiefs should be fine. Let's move on. Speaking of Rodgers, good segue, Daryl. Thursday night football. Let's take it back there. I know it's a while ago now, but Rodgers and the Jets did dominate the Pats. We saw Rodgers play good. We saw him swinging the ball around. We saw the Jets defense step up finally. So let me start with Daryl this time. How you feel like since you brought up Rodgers, the Jets and their outlook on the season after that game?
I think I said it before. Like as a football fan, I miss seeing Rodgers healthy and just playing football. Like that game was just an example of just vintage Rodgers. Like you saw the flick of the wrist, you saw the fadeaway throws, like that. He even got knocked down a little bit, and he got right back up, showing that recovery. That touchdown to Wilson on the goal line, that was crazy. Like that was just classic Wilson. Like any other quarterback, that would have been a pick six all day. But it was just the velocity was there. Accuracy was there, right on the money. I think that connection is going to get better. The biggest thing that stuck out to me was the Jets defense and how happy they were playing with a guy like Rodgers in that offense. Like for them, like to play with a lead, like that to give them like they already were a good defense, but now with this offense behind them, they gonna play with leads. They can just pull their ears back and just get to the quarterback and be aggressive like Sauce and them like to do. I think Sauce, he was. I think I saw like a post game interview. He was kind of emotional, like he was about to cry or something. Like he was talking about like how he never felt this way before, like playing with this type of offense. I mean, playing with Zach Wilson as a quarterback, I mean, it can be a little rough. So this is just like night and day for him. So that defense is going to be rejuvenated all year as far as playing with a different set of energy. I still feel like they need to get that Reddick situation figured out. I mean, it's week 3 now. Like y'all got to do something. Like I can't have the Dragon on all year. I think that's going to hold them back a little bit. But I think like the defense, they have a newfound confidence playing with this offense, and that's going to carry them and take them to the next step. Not the best defense in the end of the league. We already know who that is, but they definitely can contend. I like the Wilson. I like what's the boy name that came from the Packers, Lazard, Mike Williams. He's starting to get back healthy. They got a 2-headed running back at Breece Hall and the boy Allen too. So they got the pieces on both sides. It's just a matter of staying healthy and just improving week by week. And as far as the Patriots, they just in a rebuild situation. They almost got Drake May killed, put him in that last drive with that trash ass offensive line. They got to work on that offensive line before they put him behind center. And they just in the rebuild. They got a lot of holes to fill. So it's gonna be one of them top 5 picks in the draft again this year. But I like what I saw with the Jets, and I want to see them against some contending teams and see how they play out in the upcoming weeks.
All right, Jordan, why don't you step up on the Jets? How you feel about that?
I mean, it was a classic beatdown. I mean, the Patriots, we know, right? Like Daryl said, top 5 pick in the draft, top 10 pick in the draft next year. Got a lot of holes to fill. Not too much, going on there.
So before you go, you think May might as well start playing right now?
I mean,
not against that offensive line.
I don't know. I mean,
he's trash.
I thought the third best QB out of the draft was Bo Nix, and so far I might be right. So I mean, who knows? But as far as the Jets, right, they just gotta stay healthy. I want to see them play against another good team. You feel what I'm saying? They got smoked against San Fran week 1, which still it's San Fran. It was week 1. They were healthy. Whatever. I need to see it against Buffalo and Miami. I want to see it. Miami's cooked until Tua gets back. But
yeah, they don't count.
Yeah, so but I want to see what they do against Buffalo and some other teams. So we'll see.
All right, Jeff, your thoughts on the Jets?
I mean, the game was the Patriots are cooked. They're done. They are. They just don't have anything. Don't have the quarterback situation resolved. They don't have any number 1 receiver that they can go to. They just don't have anything going right now. They're gonna be dog food all season for the Buffalo Bills and the Jets. Like I called it, the Jets going to the Super Bowl. And now I'm really thinking about it. Rodgers is gonna be the MVP. Like now I'm gonna put that on the wax. Rodgers the MVP. I'm just saying, like. He doesn't need to, a guy mentioned something before about how many 300-yard games he's had in the last 2 seasons or whatever the case may be, but he doesn't need to. Like, as long as he's accurate and efficient, he's throwing touchdowns, I mean, he's going to be good to go. And also I mentioned before, he had 4 straight 4,000-yard seasons before having 3,600 yards last year at Green Bay and then having the 1 year off and then coming back this year. So this year he already got 639 yards and 5 touchdowns and 1 pick, 103 quarterback rating. So that defense and that team is well bound. He chose that team for a reason because he knew they were Super Bowl contenders, just missing the quarterback piece. And that's why I think he's going to be the MVP because you saw how terrible they were last year. And this year they're going to make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to win it. But they're going to get to the Super Bowl. He's going to be the MVP of the league. Listen, next week they got the Daniel Hackett Bowl when they're playing the Denver Broncos. They're going to cook them. They owe him one. And then they're going to have the Vikings. And then we'll have a real test at that point if the Vikings can maintain what they're going through. So the Jets, they're going to win the division. They're going to win. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. and Rodgers is going to be the MVP.
Wow.
I've been saying, I said this. Yes, they're going to beat Buffalo. Buffalo doesn't have enough to contend with the Jets. And the Jets defense is legitimate. At some point, Hassan Reddick's going to have to come play because he's going to get credit for this year in general. He's going to have to come play. That team is already so locked locked and loaded. You got Mosley in the second part. You got Sauce in the back end. You know, up front you got Williams. You got Wilkins, I think, as well. Once you add Reddick to that, it's gonna be treacherous for the rest of the NFL. I mean, like I said, they're already loaded. Rodgers is just getting started. He doesn't need to throw 300 yards every game. He had 281 last game. He was like 26-37. I mean, he was a pretty good game with 2 touchdowns. What I'm waiting for is Garrett Wilson to get his mind together. Because right now he acting real divish. His attitude is real lackluster. He shows his emotions on the sleeve when he's on the field. The reason Rodgers is going to Lazard because they had that familiarity. And once Wilson gets his game together and Williams becomes that possession receiver he was in San Diego or Los Angeles, then they're going to have a full complementary set of weapons. They're going to have both running backs. Conklin, actually, he's slept on last year. He's going to be a big pickup. I picked him up this week. So going forward, I'm expecting that the Jets are going to make a lot of noise in the AFC, and I'm telling you, they're going to go to Super Bowl, and Rodgers is going to win MVP.
I don't know about that one. I like that.
So what you think about what Jeff said there? So what's your thoughts?
Yeah. I was about to say, y'all pretty much, talked about a lot about the game already. It was last week, Thursday. It was a complete beatdown. Patriots, we already saying they're in a rebuild. So I don't get this hypeness from Jeff right now. I mean, they played the Patriots. last week. They played the Titans. They won 24-17. So I got to see them against, some other team. And then you're talking about Reddick coming back. You got to get in game shape. You just coming back, you might not be the same. He might just steal his money. Being the MVP, winning the Super Bowl, winning the division,
I think winning the Super Bowl. I said they're gonna get there
after beating the Patriots. Come on, we got to see them against. They're playing the Broncos next week. They probably will beat the Broncos because that's not a high-powered. That offense is not good enough. They have Bo Nix. Their quarterback isn't a challenge. Then they play the Vikings. That will be a challenge. That's when I'll be able to see what they can really do. But come on, week 1, they got stomped on.
They didn't. They only lost by 13, and they stop.
They got stomped on. That's it.
19.
You got stomped on right there. Right?
Yo, bro.
Rodgers look good though.
Bro,
I'm happy he's looking better. But come on, let's slow down. MVP, winning the Super Bowl. He got to play the Steelers, right? You might. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie though. I do fear Rodgers though. I do fear Rodgers because.
All right then. I'm
not gonna lie.
Say with your chest.
Yo, this is I believe in my team still, but they're gonna be good though. I'm not saying they're not gonna be. They're gonna be good. They got Aaron Rodgers. They got a solid defense, but Jeff, with these, this is on tape, Jeff. We're gonna bring this back up later.
I'm telling you, the way they looked like 24-3. They basically didn't let them in the game at all. They look, all right, that's enough.
Rebuild. We just said they in a rebuild. Come on.
That's on y'all. I'm saying you play who on your schedule.
Jeff, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
Jeff, but you know what I like, Jeff? Jeff be having them takes, boy. Keep us entertained.
It's true, man.
But no, I mean, again, I do think the schedule was kind to them. The Pats are really just a bad team, and that shows how bad the Bengals are too. If you want to go back to how the Pats beat the Bengals and stuff like that, but Jacoby Brissett been trash for many years. We already know that, honestly, and they got no weapons over there. Really, I feel bad for who the coach over there, Mayo, right?
Yeah, his first year though.
Yeah, but they leave with nothing though. I still feel bad for him though. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't know what that noise is, but about the Jets, bro. I like it's coming together. I don't know about Super Bowl, but I feel like it is coming together. Rodgers looking way better than, like you said, Kurt or whatever like that. So I'll give that to him. But the running backs, they are good. This week, who they got? Jets got this week?
At the Broncos. The Hackett Bowl. Yep, they got the Broncos.
Yeah.
Remember Hackett was there, and he was like, he was trash, and let him go.
So they should get him keep going. So we'll see how they do against better competition. I'm gonna go ahead and move on, and we'll keep it on wax for Jeff too. Next we got the Eagles and Jeff Saints. Speaking of that, in a close defensive game, both teams, real defensive, going back and forth. Eagles pulled out at the end of the day. I want to go to Jordan because he said he watched the first quarter highlights. So Jordan, what you thought about this, man? You watched it.
I mean, so I didn't get to watch any part of this game because I was on daddy duties.
Right.
So the point that I want to just make is obviously the defense showed up and stepped up to the challenge and shut that shit down. And that I was impressed by. As far as the offense is really concerned, I really don't think that Jalen Hurts, is the pro style quarterback to be able to say, okay, you can just run the prototypical pro style offense. Because I truly don't think that he sees the field well. And I feel like he locks onto his number one or number two.
Been
And he
telling you this.
doesn't go through every single. He's not. It's like pre-snap is probably clear, but post-snap is probably too cloudy. It gets probably too cloudy for him, and that's where he makes those bad decisions. And I mean, that's a gift, and I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a gift and a curse. It's a bad thing because it comes with the turnovers. But I will say that he always does come back from the turnovers and goes and makes an important play or a good throw or a good run. So that's always encouraging as a fan. But the turnovers really have to stop, and he really has to dial in to. I just feel like what he's really looking at, because it's definitely cloudy as soon as that ball is snapped, and he's looking at the defense, seeing what they're doing, and so that's really all I think it is. To be honest, I mean, I think we're still going to be obviously a good team. We have enough talent. Obviously, not having AJ Brown out there, I understand that that's not like what I mean. That's hard to be able to play without him, but we have enough talent to where like we can cover up some of the deficiencies that he honestly has as a quarterback.
All right. Let me go to Daryl. He's speaking a while. What you think about that game, Eagles?
For me, this game, biggest thing that stuck out was the Eagles defense and Saquon. They made up for last week. Starting with the Eagles defense, I mean, to have Kamara get 30 touches and to not score, I think that's a win, especially how he started the year so far. And for Saquon, 150 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and two, I think, big key runs when they needed it the most. I didn't really pay too much attention to the game, but I did see a recap, and I ain't noticed like the scoring didn't really start to the fourth quarter. Like Eagles got all their points in the fourth quarter. Saints got 9 points in the fourth quarter, so it was really like a defensive battle until that. Goddard broke free for the Eagles and made some plays. But I still feel like they are missing AJ a lot. Like for this game, other than Goddard and Smith, there's no other option at receiver. Like no other player had more than 2 catches or 20 yards. So it really makes it easy for the defense to point out like the key weapons because no one else is going to do nothing. So as far as the Saints, well, as far as Hurts, I mean, the consistency of turnovers is there. I mean, with changing the offensive coordinators, that didn't work. I mean, adding more weapons, he's still making bad decisions. I mean, starting from week one, like with those crazy late throws in the middle of the field, causing turnovers, fumbles, just bad decisions. Like at some point, you got to learn from all these mistakes that you keep repeating, and then make a change to get better. And I don't see a solution to that other than him just playing better. That really comes down to it. I feel like he's the weakest point of the team, to be honest, because the Eagles defense, they showed up. Like they stopped the run. The secondary played better. I thought Olave and Shaheed was going to go crazy. Shaheed's back into the inconsistency that I was talking about last year. He had no catches, no yards this game compared to what he was doing beginning of the year. Derek Carr kind of went back to reality as far as how he started out. I feel like I'm more confident in the Eagles and the Falcons and Bucks possibilities for this division after seeing how the Saints kind of came back to reality. I thought they were going to kind of run away with this division as far as them kind of almost being like a complete team on defense and offense, but them not keeping that offensive execution against the Eagles. I feel like it made me more confident in the Atlanta and Bucks. But for the Eagles, again, I think the biggest thing is Hurts. I don't see a solution with the turnovers. I think defense is going to step up. I think Saquon is going to step up. But when it comes to crunch time and the Eagles need to get a successful drive to put a touchdown on the board, I don't believe Hurts can come through. And I feel like that's going to just limit them. I see maybe second round playoffs until they run into either the Niners. When I feel like the Niners will be full health back then at that point. But I don't see them getting to that next step, and being a Super Bowl winner with Jalen Hurts playing how he's been playing for the last couple of years, and no signs of improvement.
Toby, what's your thoughts on that game in the Eagles and Falcons, bro?
Eagles Falcons game, good game. It was a defensive game for the most part. You know, you didn't really miss out on much besides like the last few, impactful plays. Dallas Goddard made that clutch catch. The players ran into each other. That was important. Saquon made a lot of important runs. He made it for last week. He actually cost them the game last week, as I was saying. Talking about what Daryl said about Hurts. Yeah, I said last week he's not gonna, drive you down to get that touchdown at the end of the game. That's why they lost last week, because Saquon dropped the ball. The defense played good last week, besides the last drive when they went into that prevent. So they come here this week and they lock up one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the league. Saints didn't look anywhere as good as they did before. So the Eagles have a good defense. The Saints, it was a disappointment from them. It shows that Derek Carr is still Derek Carr, just the Derek Carr we still, know and love. They're not gonna, run away with the division. It'll be a competitive division though. And on the other side, the Eagles, I said they was gonna win the division because nobody wins the division back to back. They look like they're gonna do that, but when it comes to winning the chip, Jalen Hurts, he's just not that guy right now. Turnover machine, but I just have to see him lead his team down when it matters. But I'm not gonna lie, Saquon is a clutch pickup. Like, he can probably save him, dump it down, and Saquon can make something happen. So that might be saving grace. And if the defense can keep up, we'll see what happens with them. But as of for now, Hurts, him not being as good as he was a few years ago when y'all went to the chip, is probably the reason they're not gonna go far.
Jeff, your thoughts, bro?
Y'all be wildin', man. Listen, it was a like Toby said, if the two players on the Saints don't run into each other, Dallas Goedert doesn't run 70 yards. And then watching the Saquon play, Will Harris, this cornerback number 5, he just took a bad angle. Had he been more north and south, he would have stopped Saquon because they had 5 defenders there. He just ran past Harris and took it to the house. So in terms of the Saints, though, their offense is balanced. I mean, they gave the Kamara the ball 26 times. That's what they're going to do. They're going to throw the ball. You had Olave 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. You don't need much when your defense is really good. Let's not forget that on their defense, they have a really stout defense. I mean, they got Matt Lattimore, they got the kid number 1, they got Harris, they got Demario Davis at linebacker, and then they got Cam Jordan up on the front. So that defense is stout. Again, like I said, they held the Eagles to 0 points to the fourth quarter. Like, let's be for real. And Jalen Hurts, I don't know what y'all was watching, but he had a pretty good game. He was 29 for 36, 311 yards. I mean, is that not a good game? Where do we mark a 300-yard performance with less than 10 incompletions? Like, somebody tell me something.
Bad decisions, bro.
One bad decision, bro, and that's it. And that was early in the game. That wasn't even late in the game.
It's just the pattern.
It's two. He fumbled too, bro.
It's the
listen
pattern.
to me.
Turnovers.
Listen, keep that same energy when we talk about Josh Allen, Jordan. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. Like keep the same energy when we talk about
Josh Allen is way better than Jalen Hurts, bro. Stop it.
But Josh Allen is better.
What happened?
Facts.
He's way better than Jalen.
Josh Allen is better than
Josh Allen ain't never been to the Super Bowl. I ain't even. That's all I'm
No better than him, bro.
Either way, Hurts had a 300-yard passing game. Goddard had the one play again that really broke it open. It's because 2 defenders ran into each other.
Bro, you just said he ran 70 yards. I think he told me he had 311.
That's still 240.
Fucking 70.
What are you talking about? He still had 240 yards if you take away that one play.
You would have never said that then.
You're not making no sense. You're just talking right now, bro.
No,
you're just talking right now. He can have a 300-yard game and the dude still have 70 yards. He still basically had 250. Like, let's be real. He didn't have a terrible game.
I didn't watch it. You watched it, so I don't know.
Exactly.
I'll give you my thoughts when I come, Jordan.
So like I said, the Eagles played a really good game. I think they got this one because the Saints gave it up. I don't think that the Eagles took this one from them. You know what I'm saying? And again, at the end of the game, Derek Carr did throw the interception, but the pocket collapsed and he got crushed essentially. It looked like he maybe broke a rib or something like that and threw the interception. But again, I don't put much stock in this in the Eagles. I think this is more the Saints learning a close game they could have took away and ran and got it done, but they kind of had some defensive lags, and that's where they are. The Eagles will still probably finish division. I'm not even sure if they're going to finish Division 1. The Washington Commanders look pretty solid. Like, I don't know. Like, they look pretty good on paper, and they look pretty good this weekend. So let's hold our horses on that, because the division winner doesn't
hold your horses.
It could be the Washington Redskins. It could be the Commanders.
Hold your horses on that.
I'm just saying, like, they look like their quarterback's a little better. Yeah, it's me. I mean, they got running backs, they got receivers, they got Terry.
Slow down. We're still the Eagles now.
Slow down. All right. Oh, okay. We'll see at the end of the season. We'll see how this turns out for you. So like I said, the game was pretty good. It was a
see
close.
Where your team ends up.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as we know y'all ain't going to Super Bowl. Bottom line.
We'll get closer than you.
Second place, nobody remembers. Like, stop. Come on, man. Again, like I said, it was a good game by the Saints defensively as far as that goes. And then, like I said, I'll see them get better over offensively. They got the Falcons next week. I expect that to really be a shootout in a sense, honestly. That's going to be funny that it's going to be a shootout. But the Eagles, who the Eagles have this week?
Tampa.
Yeah, we know how that's going to go. We just saw that again last playoff.
Lunch meat.
Lunch meat. Yeah, right.
Lunch meat, nigga.
Already, all y'all quarterbacks is trash.
Brown paper bag, fill it up.
Yeah.
Lunch meat, nigga.
So, and that's how I feel about that. The Saints will be good. The Eagles will figure that out as some time going on.
All right, let me give y'all my thoughts, because I actually did watch this whole game start to finish. Let me give you the breakdown for me. But backwards wise, I agree with Jordan. I think without those safeties for the starting safeties for the or D-backs for the Bucks, I think Eagles gonna definitely beat them. But that we'll get to that later on. But for this game, I thought I would give Hurts like a C. I don't think he played horrible. I don't think he played great. I think he had 2 turnovers. The fumble was wild. I don't know how he was carrying the ball and stuff like that. And the pick wasn't all his fault. Devontae did kind of went the route a little bit, but he still threw the pick. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, though, here's the thing. The fact is he was 29 for 38. 38 passes too many passes for Jalen Hurts, right? I think Kellen Moore think he got Josh Herbert still or whatever like that, but he don't. And you look at somebody like Lamar. Lamar threw the ball, I think it was like 13 times in that game. You know what I mean? And it's like, and he run the ball with Derrick Henry. This was a low-scoring defensive game where your running back is cooking at Saquon Barkley. Why are you throwing the ball 38 times? I don't know. They didn't give Saquon the ball enough in the first half. He was throwing the ball so much. I don't know why they feel like they want Hurts to be this, like,
Facts.
This money. We know why.
Facts.
So Lamar got paid.
And they wanted him to do the same thing at first, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, but no, I gotta tell you, Lamar does not turn the ball over like that.
He
like
don't throw it that much. But they put him. But Hurts in position turnover because throwing the ball 38 fucking times, which is crazy for me.
No, for sure.
And AJ Brown was not there. Devontae Smith got hurt in the third quarter and left. Why are you throwing the ball 38 times, bro? Who you throwing it to? I mean, so that shit is crazy to me, bro. So, the Goddard play was what it was. We discussed that or whatever. But honestly, if that didn't happen, they were going to lose that game because he was not moving that ball 70 yards, Jalen Hurts. And even that play was like a 5-yard out. He just kind of took it and ran with it and stuff like that. So, they got to put him in better position. Kellen Moore, you got to throw the ball, I think, like 25 times or less, bro. 38 is just too much. For the Saints, though, they need another weapon, bro. Because like Daryl said, he got shut down. And it wasn't just him being disappearing. It was Q. It was Kenyon Mitchell, yo. He was on that ass, shit like that. So, pause. But I just feel like that they need another receiver. They need another receiver because if one gets shut down, you got Olave, and then, like, who else? You know what I mean? Come around the backfield. And Carr, he is what he think. But as far as going back to Hurts, I feel like Hurts is kind of like, like he need everybody there to be, Goddard. They got a lot of weapons. So if they all come together, they can make the bigger run. But
so he basically the Philly Brock Purdy, like Toby would say.
He
called him the Philly Brock Purdy. Right?
But I do feel like they can put him in better positions because, again, that's just too many passes for no reason. Yo, like Jeff, you talking about something, he had a great game, 300 yards. They scored 15 points. How the hell you had 300 yards and 15 points?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a shit about how many. I don't care about how many yards you have.
Exactly.
I need touchdowns.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Points.
Yeah. So he had that.
Saquon obviously wasn't running the ball in every time either.
He had 2 touchdowns.
He had 1 touchdown.
What do you have? He had 2 touchdowns.
One
Oh, yeah,
touchdown
Oh,
because
yeah.
Goddard had
Yeah,
the
what's
other
up?
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
one.
right.
Nah,
One-
he had 2
yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah, 2.
Nah,
Yeah,
He had
Saquon had 2
No, he
touchdowns.
had 2
He had.
touchdowns.
I'm talking about running the ball.
He
You're
had-
not
Yeah,
running
he had
it in
2
all crazy.
He had 2
touchdowns,
rushing
bro.
touchdowns, bro. Come on, Google. Get it
Come
together,
on,
bro.
man. I just seen one touchdown, bro. I didn't
Yeah.
see those 2 touchdowns.
What more you want from Saquon? He got 2 touchdowns, but Hurts
Like, come on,
passing
man.
it and doing nothing. So I don't know, man.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think it's more Kellen Moore. I think Nick is. We didn't get to that shit.
Oh, yeah. That's that halftime play call.
Yo, Nick is so bad at in-game decisions, yo.
Is he?
He cost them 9 points. First, he kept going for it and getting turnover on downs. And then he didn't kick he kicked the long field goal
And missed it.
and missed it, 60-yarder. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, halftime cost them points. Another time, I think it was like on the 30 or 40-yard line. They kept with that weak ass toss to Saquon. What the fuck they
That
did?
was terrible.
And it got stuffed potatoes. I'm like, bro, like, so yeah, Nick. The worst thing about the Eagles is they got a good team and they got a lot of talent, but their worst parts are their coaching quarterback. So that's the problem I see for them.
Wait, and for the record,
That's so good.
hold on. Lamar do be throwing a lot. He threw 41 times against the Chiefs and 34 times against the Raiders. So
I'm
let's
talking about this week, bro.
I know, but don't say
Yeah.
Lamar don't be
And
throwing the
they
ball
took-
a lot. He be
And
slinging
they
it
took
around.
2
Like,
L's, and they took 2
Yeah.
L's.
They did. That's what happened.
And
that's
they
what I'm
took
saying.
2 L's.
Like, that's what these guys do. They pay him. They tell him to throw it around, and there you
What
go.
you want to say, Jeff? Jordan, about Nick and Hurts?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a pivotal part of the team.
Those are 2 of the issues at the moment.
yeah, definitely, man.
I can
Nick,
tell
I
you
don't
that.
know. I still know what he does, but his in-game decisions is not that great. You know what I mean? But let me move on to the next topic. We ready, fellas? You know what it is. You know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Let's get it together.
Kings of the North.
Steelers remain undefeated by beating the undefeated team in the Chargers. And we keeping it moving, scoring touchdowns at that, which we were told we couldn't do for some reason. However, defense stand up. Steelers you already know. Calm down. You already know it's got to come out. Terrible towel season. 3-0. Kings of the North. I think we're number 4 or 5 in the power rankings right now, doing our thing.
No.
So, nah.
So what kind of Ravens did you have?
I never had none. So for my fellow Steelers brethren, I'm gonna go with Toby, man. How you feel about the game, man?
It was a good game, man. Shout out to our defense. Our defense is really elite. You know, we locked down. That one touchdown though, I forgot who scored it. Justin Herbert threw the pass. I don't know the receiver that caught it, but he was wide open.
Johnston. Yeah.
Johnston. He was wide open. That was the last in the defense. But besides that, we played good. Herbert actually got injured, so that actually played into our advantage. To be honest, I'm still skeptical to see what could really happen when we really face an elite quarterback, somebody that could really pass the ball. Because Herbert got hurt, even when he got that one touchdown, he wasn't playing bad. So I really got to see us get challenged defensively because we have not been challenged defensively. We are good though. Offensively though, Phil's got that rushing touchdown and then he threw that passing touchdown to Tavon Austin, I believe it was, and he took it to the crib. Real solid game from Fields. He hasn't really he's been playing solid. I'm not going to take any credit away from him. He's not turning the ball over. He's keeping us, in games. But we're 3-0. I'm happy. I was saying that he's going to win this division. I was saying it was going to be with Wilson though. But I'm not going to complain because it's with Fields. I got to see us get challenged. I feel like we haven't been really tested yet. But 3-0. Shout out to Tomlin. He's a great coach. I knew he was going to get the best out of Fields. I was trying to tell people that even with Wilson, I believe he would have got the best out of Wilson because Wilson to me is the better quarterback than Fields. But I believe he could get, Russell was hurt. I think he had the Achilles injury. So it's just like, let's continue to rehab him. And when we get tested is when we really get it.
Makes you honest.
Our defense, even though we're great right now, we have not played any elite quarterbacks.
Not one.
And once we play some elite quarterbacks, I got to see the similar things. Our defense, TJ Watt, this guy's unstoppable. And I forgot the name of the other linebacker. I know we got Highsmith and I think it's a number 50. I can't remember his name right now, but our defensive line is the secondary I always worry about. Shout out to Porter though, but man, Steelers 3-0. I said we was gonna win the division beforehand. Y'all laughed at me. We 3-0. We usually beat. Don't beat us. Like I think last year we swept them or something like that. I just want y'all to know this.
Who?
We ain't even play the Ravens. We ain't play Cincy. We ain't play the Browns. We're going to beat these guys. These are wins that we're gonna have in the division. So that's all I'm gonna say, man. Steelers Nation.
There you go. Jordan, man, why don't you jump up in there, bro?
Well, honestly, it's actually refreshing and happy to be able to see Justin Fields in a better situation, playing good football, showing off the actual quarterback talent that he has, showing that he is not just a running back. He's not turning the ball over. They're making it simple for him. He's moving the chains, put up some points. They're winning games. I'm happy for Justin Fields. I don't care for the Steelers too much, but I'm happy for Justin Fields. Defense, we already know what they're going to bring to the table. You know, I see why y'all wanted Brandon Ayuk now.
Mm-hmm.
I see why y'all wanted Brandon Ayuk. I think if we add another piece to that offense, they become a different offense.
All right.
But
Oh, sorry.
no.
All right. Go ahead and hate, Jeff. I'm sorry.
I'm not hating. I mean, Toby said it best. Soft ass schedule. Like,
Oh my God.
I mean,
Toby
y'all beat the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Falcons, right?
What the Chargers
Next-
undefeated?
Huh?
What the Chargers undefeated? Anyway, go ahead.
You won 2
And they beat
games.
the Raiders.
Calm down. Like 2 games. Come on, not 2 games. Listen, man, y'all gotta. Yo, I'm really looking at the schedule. It's really a soft ass schedule, bro. Y'all got the Colts next, the Cowboys. Then y'all gonna come to
It's
Vegas.
gonna be a challenge. Cowboys gonna be our first.
Cowboys
challenge.
ain't gonna be no challenge, man. They imploding on
That'll be the
inside.
best quarterback we play up until this point, I believe.
Up until that point, then y'all gonna get the Steelers. I mean, y'all get the Jets. Y'all really only got 2 real tough games: the Jets and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs ain't till December 25th. So, I mean, all right, come on now.
You play on your schedule, right? You didn't say that earlier.
Exactly.
I played. Yeah. I don't know what they were saying when they're saying y'all had like the top 5 hardest schedule. I don't see where that
the
is.
back
Like,
half. The back half crazy, yo. It's
The
wild.
play-
the back
the
half ain't
Ravens,
that crazy, bro.
and
You got the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Browns.
Listen to what you just said.
Nah, Bengals is 0-3. They done.
Good teams.
Bengals 0-3. I know the Ravens ain't gonna be a problem. We just talked about how bad Hurts is. That's not even a thing. Like,
Eagles, you think the
come
Eagles,
on, man. Like,
Right?
I'm not seeing much of a
That's a hard
challenge.
Hold on. What you say, Jordan?
Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah,
Tell him,
man, bro.
Jordan.
That
These
back half
been
ain't
hella
that bad,
crazy
bro.
teams.
The way the
bro.
Bengals look right now,
I
y'all
don't
telling me the
care.
Bengals
I
a
don't
challenge?
care.
Bro,
What?
NFC
It's
North.
the
I mean,
Bengals.
AFC North, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be competitive.
I ain't
regardless.
trying to hear it,
This
bro.
nigga
I ain't
said
trying to
the
hear it. bro.
Bengals, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Eagles. They're like,
Browns, the Eagles, none of them games, man.
Just
None
named
of them
3
games.
teams that the
No,
last
bro.
3 years either been in the AFC, NFC, championship,
bro.
or the fucking Super Bowl.
I just don't. I don't see it being hard. I'm
This
trying
is
to tell you,
gonna
I
be
don't see that
crazy.
being a tough schedule. I don't. We just said how the Eagles weren't that good because of Hurts.
Nigga, they say, fool, y'all not good. They see y'all in the schedule.
We. I'm
get
just
right.
listen.
We
Listen.
not fool. They know
Stay
they gotta
focused,
get
King.
right
Stay
for a fucking
focused,
game.
right?
What the fuck
You
is
just
talking
said how the
about?
Eagles quarterback and coaching situation are the worst
I don't give a
parts of the
shit.
team,
Line
right?
it up. Look, I don't give a shit. That ball click the 1 o'clock. Line it up.
I'm just,
Fuck all the
you just
QB
said how
and
the
the coach ain't
Eagles
shit.
coach and the quarterback are the worst parts of
Yo.
the team. Like, come on,
Listen,
man. I don't see the
listen.
schedule being tough. Y'all got the Colts next week. That's food.
Y'all
You know
play
what I'm
them?
saying?
Y'all play?
Huh?
Y'all play them? Y'all got them this year?
Who, the Colts?
No, the Steelers.
I
Yeah,
think
we do.
so. Yeah.
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 What I'm saying.
Def-
So when the Steelers look on their schedule, you a get right game. They looking at the Eagles like we got to get right, nigga. Okay,
Y'all
they
just
got a
scored
rough schedule,
16 points, bro, in the fourth quarter. Like, stop playing.
and they
with me,
got to
dog.
get right.
Stop playing with me. Y'all have
It
15.
ain't no.
Get it out.
It
Get
ain't.
it out.
It ain't.
Your quarterback's got an
no-
interception in
It
8
ain't no.
straight
That's a
games. Like,
get
we'll
right.
talk about
No,
that
they
in
got
another.
to get. All right.
Listen. All right, you had your chance. You had your chance, right? Like I said, I just don't see the schedule being that tough for them. I mean, yeah, you play who you play. But I mean, like I said, you got the Colts next week. The Cowboys don't look formidable at all. They have no running game. They have no defensive running stopping game at all. I mean, you're gonna get the Raiders, okay.
Why are you talking about this game? This happened. You talking about the fucking?
Because this game, I mean, because it was like you said, Herbert was hurt. It really wasn't that much of a. It was like I don't know. It was like kind of stale the whole game. It looked like y'all was going to dominate from the beginning. It was at home. You felt the momentum. They played really well. They played to their strengths. Justin Fields had 245 yards, 25 completions. That boy Calvin Austin was really lighting it up. You know, Pickens still hasn't shown me like one of those games where I'm just like, he's crazy. I don't know if that connection is there at all, honestly, at this point. It has to evolve over time. The running game, good. Najee had 18 carries for 70 yards. I'm happy for that. He's my fantasy team. They didn't punch it in the end zone. Warren is still kind of hurt. I mean, I think this was a game that, it looked on paper like it was going to be a tough game. But as I watched the game evolve throughout the day, I was like, dang, the Chargers just look a little off, and the Steelers just look like they're ready to take this one from them, and they did that. So, again, I mean, it's one of those – sometimes those games, like you said, they look good on paper, but when it starts happening, when that ball snap and that kickoff start at 1 o'clock, it just doesn't look as competitive. And this is one of those games.
Yo, Daryl, man, please bring me some levity to this game. Jeff.
He's saying the schedule's sus.
We're gonna get to that. I'm gonna start with Fields. I'm just proud of the growth that he's shown and just taking advantage of the opportunity. Like, just putting myself in his shoes. Like last year, dealing with all the talk about tank for Caleb, we gonna draft Caleb, and then actually having to go through that, and then being casted away, seeing the Bears finally getting all these weapons, and just being casted away to let his career die. Like, just being issues, seeing going through that, taking advantage of the opportunity. Like, it might be a blessing in disguise for Russ to be 35 years old, pushing sleds in all season, almost tearing his Achilles. Like, that might be a blessing in disguise. So, because since training camp, Justin Fields has been acting as the number one receiver. I know there's a lot of talk about Tomlin not announcing, number one quarterback. I know there's a lot of talk about Tomlin not announcing Justin Fields as the number one option, but he doesn't need to. Like, that would only satisfy the outside noise. Like, he got control of that locker room from like I said, from training camp. They've been acting as Justin Fields the number one option. So there's no questions in the locker room as far as who the leaders are in that team. Defense, best defense in the league. Like I said, we play who's on the schedule. Like, only gave up 26 points, 8 points a game. Like we got to stack up these wins. Like with the schedule coming up, and I'm gonna talk about that schedule. We got the toughest 3 games stretch in the league. Like, I'm gonna start with the Eagles, December 15th. That's on a Sunday. That next Saturday, we got the Ravens on the 21st. 4 days later, on Christmas, we got the Chiefs. That's 3 games in 17 days. Like, we got to stack up these wins now to when we get to that stretch of the season, it gives us some leeway if we take a loss here and there. So, and as far as the offensive line, so far the past 2 games, they've been holding us back with penalties. Justin Fields should have at least 200 more yards passing and another couple touchdowns if it wasn't for the penalties. Like that, for example, that Calvin off the touchdown, based on the past 2 games, that would have gotten called back for offensive holding. But the offense kept it clean. Offensive line kept it clean, and we still dealing with injuries. Like, we're supposed to get Sayamalu back, our best offensive lineman. He's starting to practice getting back. Broderick Jones, he was struggling so far in the first 2 games, but the first play of this game, he put Joey Bosa on his back. Like, I like how the offensive line stepped up. I like how we running the ball. We do need another receiver. Like I was talking with Jeff pre-show about Devontae Adams. We need to make a move to unlock another level for this offense, because to having another weapon that the defense respects on the outside other than George Pickens is going to just give Justin Fields more freedom just to make plays and run the offense. But so far, I like where we are. We need to stack these wins, especially with what's coming up. I don't care how tough the schedule is week to week. It's a week to week thing. I like Justin Fields as our quarterback going forward. Just need to keep building around him. He needs to keep improving week to week, which he is. And for the Chargers, I know what's the name, Herbert. He got hurt early on, but he wasn't doing nothing before when he was out there. I mean, it was just that one. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. being the aggressive player he is, he bit on that play fake. It left Johnson open for wide open touchdown. But other than that, nothing after that. So we're doing what we're supposed to do. I like what I'm seeing so far. And I want to see. I think we got the Colts next. I mean, AR. I don't know. He can get the deep ball. I know we got Jonathan Taylor to worry about, but I think we can show what we've been showing in that game as well. The Cowboys, I can't wait to that Cowboys game. I want to expose them for what they are, and then we got the Raiders coming up after that. So I like what we've done so far, and I'm excited to see what we got coming up next.
The Cowboys already been exposed. But go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff, as usual,
Man,
saying
that's
crazy stuff, man. That schedule in the back half is wild, bro. And the
So-
Bengals are still gonna play tough no matter what. They just lost to the fucking Chiefs by 1 point or some shit, right? So I mean, or a close game. Like the Bengals still a tough team. But as far as the game is concerned, what I like is that Fields only had 6 rushes for 6 yards, and he threw the ball, and he made plays. He had a good percentage, good passer rating. Had a running touchdown, passing touchdown. Austin did add a touchdown or whatever. Him and Pickens are starting to connect. It's coming together, and I feel like the defense gonna be the defense. Tomlin doing what he's supposed to do. Run game, what it is. For the Chargers, I don't think Herbert should have been playing yet. I think he was still hurt, and I think that the ankle was a problem, and I think that now he's gonna be probably out a little longer and stuff like that. So I think that might set them back even more, honestly. But we should move forward nicely, and like Daryl said on the chat, the division shaping up like we wanted to. The 1-3 Ravens, the Bengals are pretty much done, I feel like, and then as far as getting the playoffs, and then the Browns is just the Browns. We ain't really worry about them too much.
Right.
So I thought it would be good. That Cowboy game, Cowboys, because they still got weapons. They're good. They're good. They got good pieces, so we never know what could happen. But for now, I'm happy 3-0. So I had to give a shout out. Even though I know Jeff was going to hate or whatever.
I'm just calling a spade, man.
Okay, I got you. In other news, speaking of the NFC North and the Cowboys did lose to the Ravens. Now, this game was crazy. It started out as a blowout. Cowboys came back, wound up falling short by 3 points. I know Jordan didn't see it because he was out and about, but Daryl, why don't you start? How you feel about the Ravens-Cowboys game, bro?
For the Ravens, they actually ran the ball. Like I keep saying, like their identity since existence has been running the football and playing good defense. And since this new offensive coordinator and paying Lamar, they kind of gotten away from that. Like giving Henry 25 carries, like that's what I thought was going to happen when they signed him. Lamar only threw 15 times. Like that's their identity is to run the ball, just dominate physically and play good defense and win the game. Cowboys, they just trash. Like I'm never putting any faith or belief in them. Like they are who they are. Dak, I don't care what Dak has numbers wise. It's always going to come down to in the postseason, not going to be the same as what he is regular season. And they just keep getting exposed. Like I know they scored 19 points in the fourth quarter, try to pull off a comeback, but these first 3 games, like the off season is kind of playing out into the regular season with them as far as the things that they needed to improve. They didn't. They still have no run game. Like Rico Dowdle had 8 carries. Other than that, no other options other than that. As far as what's the name? I forget his name, but the wash bull for the running back.
Is he good?
Elliott. Yeah. He's washed. But other than that, again, they have no running game. Again, no receiving options other than CeeDee Lamb. Him and Dak are not on the same page. A little frustration there. We saw that play on the sidelines. Again, other than once he's out of the game, like mentally, they have nowhere to go as far as an offensive weapon or a game changer, so to speak. That's the biggest thing. Like they have no like game changers. Like on defensive, again, last year they depended on turnovers. This year they can't stop the run or the pass. They can get cooked either way. They're just at the liberty to whatever the offense decides to do that day. Again, they didn't do anything to improve in the offseason, and we're seeing it play out. I don't see them being a playoff team, but they're spending like they are a playoff team money wise. They're just trash. They're gonna be the Cowboys, just like the Browns are gonna be the Browns. It's kind of put them in the same category. And but yeah, I mean, I don't like to think anything positive about the Ravens, but it's a good sign as far as them being competitive, getting back to their style and their philosophy is running the football with Derrick Henry. And then, but I still feel like it's going to come down to Lamar needing to make plays, throwing the ball. And with Zay and Bateman, no one scares, no one is afraid of them. So it's really going to come down to Lamar taking that next step. I don't think this was a challenge, like a challenge for them, as far as seeing where like a measuring stick, see where they're at. I think they're going to need to play some more better teams. I think they got the Bills coming up next week. That's going to be a big game as far as seeing where they're at. But yeah, again, Cowboys are the Cowboys, and that's all they will be.
Toby, the Ravens Cowboys, bro. Get you back in here. We can't hear you, Toby.
He on mute. Yeah.
I'll be quick with this one. Disappointed because the Ravens won this game. I wanted them to lose, but I'm not really surprised because I felt like they weren't going to be 0-3. So I just knew the Cowboys wasn't going to win this game. The Cowboys didn't do anything in the offseason to really improve their team, in my opinion. So they're just I feel like they're gonna fall off this cliff now. They're still signed with Dak. I don't think he's the guy. The Ravens dominated this game for the most part, but then I see the fourth quarter and it's 19-0. I feel like that is worrying signs for them. They almost damn near blew the lead. But besides that, not really surprised by the result. Can't wait to play them, later on in this season. But that's surprised by the result. The Cowboys, they're done. I've been said they were cooked. And the Ravens, I don't know who they play next, but I hope they lose. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jeff, you up?
This game was interesting. I mean, the Ravens almost blew a second half lead again for the second week in a row. They ran the ball with Derrick Henry, which is cool. And it's always been their formula, but they rely on Lamar to make passes when it matters the most. Those third downs when they need to convert, where the third down isn't clutch or small, where they can run it. Lamar's body language is annoying too sometimes because, I saw there were plays where they handed it off to Henry and it's like he wanted to throw it and he kind of made these gestures like, dang, why are we running it? And it was kind of like, bro, this is the guy y'all bought in to seal the deal. He's a closer for y'all. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, let him do his job. So, that's something I'm going to pay real close attention to because, like we discussed, Lamar wants to throw the ball a lot. Him throwing 15 times probably isn't even to his liking. He wants to be an elite passer. It's obvious that he's an elite runner. He ran this time 14 times for 80-something yards this game. So that was basically on par to what he normally does. But I don't think that's the formula he wants to continue to do. He wants to show he's an elite passer in this league, especially with him getting that. The Cowboys, though, interesting. Coming back, 2 touchdowns at the end. Yeah, the CD thing was a little iffy, but I still got some light in there for the Cowboys. I think they, this might sound crazy. They might win the division too. Like I don't see it. Look, people always say records and stuff are meant to be broken, right? And trends are meant to be broken. Why not have a back-to-back NFC East winner? I just don't see why that is a problem. I mean, you got an all-pro quarterback. Now, yes, they haven't addressed their rushing game at all, nor is their rushing defense anything like it should be at all. They lost Phillips for the season. I think he went on IR, so they're even smaller up front. And again, Trayvon Diggs was what we deemed an elite quarterback, but again, he got burnt so many times, and that's why they gave them elite status because he had the interceptions. He was trash all along, if you ask me. So what I'm expecting to see from this is the Ravens will play the Buffalo Bills this week, which is an interesting game because Josh Allen and Lamar, weren't they in the same draft? I think Josh Allen went first and Lamar went later. So I'm interested always to see how that battle works. Josh Allen is 1-2. The Ravens are 2-1 as long as Lamar has been there against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills won the last game. The Ravens won the first 2. And so, so that's going to be interesting to watch. And the Cowboys, and maybe in 2 weeks, they'll get the Steelers. That'll be a measuring stick game for them. I think they'll come out and win that game and show that they have some mettle along with the offense. Look, they've just been letting Dak throw it around. They don't have any running game. We don't have anything outside of CD. Ferguson is good, but there's no outside threat. Turbin caught a touchdown this game. Okay, it was all in garbage time. So, those 2 teams they're still in the same place to me. Like they still have more to prove each team in their division. And, we'll see what goes on going forward. This week is going to be a tough one for the Ravens. And I expect to see how the outcome works out.
Jordan, bro. Cowboys, Ravens.
I mean, you guys all said, made all the good points about both teams.
Yeah.
All right. let me hop in real quick like that. I think that the Cowboys definitely are done, Jeff. I'm sorry to say, and it's really because they didn't make any offseason moves. Number one, the crazy part is the move they could have made, who wanted to come to Dallas, they let go to the Ravens, and he killed them, which was Henry. They got no running back. They even let what you call it go, and
Pollard.
yeah, Pollard, and now they got nobody there, bro. So I think Jerry getting C now at this point. He ain't making the moves, he ain't doing shit. I feel like that CD on the island by itself, like trying to get doubled every play. Nobody on the other side ain't worried about Cook no more. Nobody on the other side. Dak is doing the best he can. I feel like he got no weapons, honestly. But the defense, where's Micah? Micah got one sack and I think like one tip ball, like in 3 games. Like he's not doing nothing, and I do think that he's not in the right position. But I feel like the DC is not that good. Plus they built small. They built small to rush the quarterback. You can run them every fucking game, bro. Like you just push him and beat him up. So I feel like that and McCarthy, he's also not great at in-game decisions, And I feel like he on his last leg. And just like Dougie P, they just gave Dak $60 million for 5 years. So guess what? He ain't going nowhere. Somebody got to take the fall. It's going to be Big Mike up top, and his ass going to be gone. I don't know who's going there now, but he going to be gone. But they got to make some moves. They're cooked. And Ravens, as far as the Ravens are concerned, they got to beat Buffalo, man. If they go to 1-3, it's going to be curtains for them too. So I feel like that if they play the game they played in the beginning of the game, last game, they could be okay. But Cowboys still came back. So I don't know about them. And I'm with Daryl. Like, Zay, I think Zay had like 1 catch, maybe 2 catch. Like, nobody scares them on the outside. So they do got Henry up in the middle, but they still got no receivers really. So I think they're going to have they're not who they were last year at all. And I think losing some of McQueen, some of the defense is a problem for them. So.
Well, real quick before you go though, so obviously you're gonna be biased and say the Steelers are gonna win the division, right? So who's gonna come in second?
Ravens.
Yeah,
Ravens.
Sure.
From all the Steelers fans, Ravens. Okay.
Ravens. Yeah, for sure. Where are we at with this?
Niners.
Yeah, Niners. They were winning the game and stuff like that. They were looking good, and then the Vikings came back.
Rams.
Rams came back and won the game at the end of the game. And Niners, they didn't have all their weapons, and they lost without them. So, Toby, how you felt about that game? I know you were watching it, and I know how much you love Brock Purdy. So,
First of all, I wasn't watching this game, but I'll be quick. They were like Mike said, they was winning the game. He wants to talk about they was missing these players. They were winning the game by 10 in the fourth quarter. Brock Purdy got to take that game home. That's your guy that was saying he's a top 10 quarterback. You got to take that game home. You up by 10 at the crib against your division rivals, and you blow the lead. So the 49ers, like you said, they have these injuries. Purdy obviously can't take it home with a 10-point lead. So it's honestly worrying times for them because I don't know how long McCaffrey's going to be out for. I don't know if Deebo's coming back this week. So they might not be as dominant, as people thought, So that's what I'll say about them. Impressive win by the Rams coming back, getting that W. But, at the end of the day, when the going gets tough, you see, Purdy couldn't get it done. He couldn't get his team a field goal, anything. And they give up a huge lead. So that's honestly a big loss for them because they were up by 10 in the fourth.
Let me go to Jordan this time. Second, what do you think about the Rams and the Niners, bro?
Well, the 49ers are banged up. Even though, they had the lead, they let them come back. Clearly, what I'm saying, it was a good game. Both teams are banged up. They'll fight for that spot in the division. The Seahawks right now are 3-0. We'll see if that lasts. But I think both teams are just banged up. They've been there before. Once they as long as they can get to the second half of their season with all their guys, they'll make a run and probably the both of them try to take a, run at 1 or 2 in the division. So,
Jeff?
No team since 1970. Never mind. No. We know the 49ers aren't going back to Super Bowl. I mean, they played with a plethora of injuries. It is what it is at this point. Brock Purdy still had a pretty good game, 22 of 30, 292, 3 touchdowns. I know Toby wants to place the entire offense on Brock Purdy's shoulders and see him drive down and score the winning touchdown and throw
Field goal.
at least a field goal. I got you. But come on, man. I mean, the defense just let up, man. I mean, they just took their foot off the gas. The Rams actually have some players. They have. I'm starting to be a little Kyron Williams. I wasn't sure about, but I'm starting to come around the corner with him. He looks legitimate, fast, shifty, back and catch the ball at the backfield. Matthew Stafford is still Matthew Stafford. Super Bowl winning quarterback, nonetheless. 3 of the top 10 seasons in wide receiver history. But again, this was the 49ers defense, man. I mean, it was just them. They just gave it up like it was prom night. And honestly, to blow a 10-point lead, you think there's some 49er fans in the stands in LA, no matter what the case is, because it's all in California, but they don't have that same edge, that moxie, that same thing that they've been having year after year after year to make you think they're knocking on the door. You can say all the missing pieces we want, but it looks like Mason fills in pretty well for McCaffrey, maybe not catching the ball. Hell, Juwan Jennings had a Randy Moss-esque type game, 11 catches, 174, 3 touchdowns. Like, what more do you want from the guy? I mean, he played well in the Super Bowl as well when they went last year. I thought that was a surprising thing that he's probably going to step in and be their top target. Ayuk still hasn't really gotten it together. Missing all that offseason. He's still rusty. He's dragging. It's whack. But, in this game, this will probably be a wake-up game for the 49ers. They'll probably take it out on their next opponent and beat the dog breaks off them because they gave this one up. So, we'll just look forward to it. The Rams are going to be the Rams. I don't think the Seahawks are going to win the division. I think it'll come down to either the Arizona Cardinals or the St. Louis Rams. But, we'll wait and see.
With Daryl?
For me, I think the biggest thing was McVay basically shunned Shanahan in this game. Like, it basically like, nah, I'm still your OG. Like, I think there was like a picture after the game where I think Shanahan was looking down and McVay was actually palming his head. Like it's all right. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And for Stafford, he really showed like his veteran like leadership. Like, because it was a couple of times where the young receivers that are getting more playing time because of injuries, they was kind of like making mistakes, but we didn't see Stafford yell at him. He was teaching and coaching, like as far as what he needs them to do. He really leaned on the most experienced receiver left, which I think is Tutu Atwell. He really leaned on him, and the offense in general leaned on Kyron. I think he had all their touchdowns. As far as like the Niners, it really stuck out. Like when Purdy was dropping back, he was waiting. He was waiting to see if McCaffrey would slip out for a screen, waiting to see if Kittle would get open, waiting to see if Debo would get open. But with those options not there, it was really just limited to him like making the play himself. Juwan Jennings, he had a great game. I thought that was going to happen because even with everybody healthy, Jennings would still find ways to make plays even as a fifth option. So I wasn't surprised. I mean, I was surprised by the numbers, but I wasn't surprised by him stepping up and being like the number one receiving option. I feel like this game for the Niners, it was carryover from the last game with the Vikings. I feel like they walked in underestimating their opponent. Even with the injuries, I feel like they still had that confidence. Brandon Ayuk, like he's about to rob the Niners for some cash because he hasn't looked the same since coming back so far. But yeah, the Niners, I think there's going to be kind of like just like the Chiefs as far as this is going to be a tough regular season. Normally they coast through, dominate whoever they play. This is going to be different. They're going to have to get by week to week. They're going to have to get healthy quick. And it's why they're going to have to keep up with the Seahawks because they 3-0. The Rams just got to win over them. The Cardinals look like they're not going to be completely trash. They're going to be competitive. So they gotta definitely improve offensively. Other than Jennings, other guys got to step up. Like Kittle. I mean, not Kittle. Like Ayuk. Like did all that talking during the off season. You got to show why they paid you now. And Mason, he's been holding his own. But it's nothing like McCaffrey. Like he's a game changer. Without him, they kind of evens the playing field almost as far as offensively. But I like the fight that the Rams showed, and that the finish is going to be more competitive than I thought it would be. Start of the season.
Wait, real quick though, nobody even said. Did you see the boy Ronnie Bell drop the long pass from Purdy? had the bomb going right down the field, dropped it, boom, would have put the 49ers right in field goal range. Like,
What quarter was that? I didn't see that.
it was in the fourth quarter. It was like a minute and 2 left to go. He was going right down the field, threw a bomb to him, dropped
You
it
had
right
to
out.
make another pass then. That's all it felt like to me.
Come
You had
on,
to make
man.
another pass, bro. That's
Come
all
on,
it felt like to me.
Unrealistic, Toby.
Yo, this dude is missing like all pro players, 3 of them. Like you missing
10-point lead.
McCaffrey. What happened?
10-point lead, man.
I got it, bro, but I think the play calling changed too. They ain't on Purdy, man. I think he played pretty good for what he had. I think that Jawan Jennings, like, you know, I know he was gonna play good too. I should have started on a Cook jet for real, but that's on me. But nevertheless, you know, I still got it for this week, and those players still out. So, you know, feel bad for Les Welker, but nevertheless, in this in this game, we got the Rams. I mean, that's good coaching by McVay, bro. You know, shows that he's still a good coach no matter who is out there. If they can hold on for a little bit, Coop coming back in a couple weeks, you know, hopefully for me too. And you know, Puka was on IR. He should be back too in like a couple weeks. So we'll see how the thing play out. I don't think it's over for the Rams yet. That win was big for them. The Niners, man. I think George said it in the chat. The window might be closed. They've been, you know, knocking on the door for 5 years, right? They've been to 2 Super Bowls, several NFC Championship games, like, you know, and now they got to pay Purdy at the end of the year. So
Yeah, they should have had them. I mean, they should have had at least one by now. They could have beat the Chiefs in what was that? 20. What was that? First time.
2020. Yeah.
2019. It might have been
Jared
2019.
Garoppolo.
Last year too, they had the lead.
Yeah, they had the lead too. Yeah.
So I feel like that it may or may not be closed. We're gonna see, but it's gonna come down that division like all the way through. Let's move on though. Any locks of the week, Jordan or Daryl? Well, I'll
Whoa.
start. I'll go ahead, Jordan. No, you can
I
start.
mean, the most ridiculous thing in the world was last week. I took the fucking Raiders 3.5, 2.5. You see how
Wow.
that panned out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Let's make that announcement. The Raiders did lose to the
They Carolina,
too.
they can, yeah.
Wait,
Matt
actually,
Rifle ripped them.
Hold on. Andy Dalton is a good quarterback. Crazy.
No, we got.
Whoa.
Like,
Raiders
crazy.
can't run the ball. Like,
He's a good
crazy.
quarterback. Thank you very much. Don't run the ball well.
I thought Zamir White was gonna be a steal in the fantasy
No.
draft.
Nah, he's a dud. That's why he was the backup last year.
I mean,
Niggas said Andy Dalton, Andy Reid. I don't care. Like he
Exactly.
He won.
he did.
Why would we go? Why would we? Like, we had the ball. We had a chance to go for it, and we punted it again. Like, how many times is this gonna happen? Like,
You saw AP. He wasn't
yeah,
happy. He
he's like,
said,
why we
he
can't
said,
go for it? Like, they like,
AP
no, don't
said-
go for it.
AP said y'all was making business decisions, so he gonna make
Yeah,
some business
Jack
decisions
Jones
too.
was wilding. Like,
I mean, like
It's a bad
I
sign.
got the Steelers money line. Anthony Richardson. I am still on the train, but I am thinking about hopping off. He has not looked too great so far, but you know,
You might as well get a
we'll
point. It's only 1.5. You might as well get a point. But you go
well, I mean,
it's 1.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
what's the odds for the money line?
Oh, I mean, it's not gonna be that big of a difference, but I'm saying you still get
No.
better.
It'll just be a
odds.
little bit better since it's a point.
Tad bit.
I mean, I like the Eagles to cover the 2 over the Bucks. I do, and
for real?
yeah, they're gonna beat the Bucks, bro. And they're gonna beat them by 2. The Browns probably beat the Raiders. No, I'm gonna go with Let me see. Go ahead, Daryl. You got one? You like?
Yeah, last week I was on the money with the Seahawks money line. I'm gonna try to keep it going this week. Texans -6.5 against the Jags. I think they're gonna be motivated coming off of a loss, and the Jags they just in a state of turmoil right now. So
They'll
I
cover
got
6.5.
Jags -6. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that for you. Okay, that's good. Jeff, what's up with the pick'ems, bro?
All right, so last week we did 3 games. We did the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We did the Arizona Cardinals versus the Detroit Lions, and we did the Houston Texans versus the Minnesota Vikings. So last week we had Daryl who chose Arizona, Houston, and Pittsburgh. So he was 1 and 2. Toby chose the same exact lineup: Arizona, Houston, and Pittsburgh. He was 1 and 2. Jordan, the only person who chose, actually he chose Detroit, Houston, and the Chargers. He was 1 and 2. And sadly, Mike chose Detroit, Houston, and Pittsburgh, so he was 2 and 1. Sadly, the disappointing result. I actually was 0-3. I still Arizona and Cardinals. That was a bad week. So that takes us this week. Mike running the stakes right now at 7-4.
Okay.
Me and Jordan in a tie at 6-5, and Toby and Democrat, y'all at 5-6. So, like I said, this week we wanted to go with last week before we get all the buys start kicking in. Teams start going into the buys this week. Then
It's
so
gonna
we're
change up
happy.
this week.
Huh?
It's gonna change up this week with 5 picks.
Yeah,
I
right.
got
So
a
we're
little
gonna
score
go.
right here at the bottom.
Yeah, it's the last one. We're gonna go 5 picks. We got Philly and Tampa Bay. Every team on the right is at the home team. Left team is visiting. Philly, Tampa Bay, the Commanders in Arizona, KC in LA against the Chargers, Buffalo visiting Baltimore, and Seattle touching down in the D-town.
Who ready to go first? Let's go.
I'll go.
Okay, bet.
So I'm gonna go 5-0 this week with the Eagles,
Smoking.
Eagles, Cardinals, Chiefs, Bills, and Lions.
Who next? George, you got it?
Oh wow, I would have similar Eagles. I'm actually gonna go Washington though, and then I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with Buffalo, and I'm gonna go with Detroit.
Toby?
I'm gonna go Chiefs over LA.
How you ain't doing it in order?
I can't do it in order because my mind is going at. I'm picking the ones where I feel like
All right.
Chiefs versus LA. I mean over LA. Seattle. I mean Detroit over Seattle. Baltimore is at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baltimore pulls that one off on Buffalo.
Oh,
Josh Allen is
Baltimore's
1-2
at home.
in Baltimore since his career.
Oh, Baltimore's at home. I might have to change that, Joe.
Philly and Tampa Bay. No, then we go Arizona over Washington.
That's where you're going?
Yeah, Arizona over Washington. And
that's the Cliff Kingsbury Bowl. Don't forget.
And Philly versus Tampa Bay in Tampa. I'm gonna go. Shit, I'm gonna go.
It's a tough.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay, yo. I'm going Tampa Bay. Hold on, you said Tampa Bay got injuries, safeties. I'm going Philly. I'm going Philly. They got some safeties that's injured. Hurts definitely got to take advantage of this.
Is he gonna
Miguel, go ahead, Miguel.
All right, I'm gonna go Philly because of what I said about the injuries, and also I feel like that they'll maybe have a better game plan this week. I like that Washington game is tough.
Cliff Kingsbury Bowl is gonna be tough.
After seeing what Washington just did to
Bengals.
Bengals or whatever like that. I don't really believe in Arizona, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Washington too. I'm gonna go with KC. I'm gonna go with Baltimore and Detroit. The rest were easy to me. So
yeah, nah.
So you
Jeff,
said
I'm gonna stick with
KC, Baltimore, Detroit, Mike.
Yeah.
What you doing, Jordan?
Nah, I'm gonna stay with Buffalo.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Philly. I just think they're gonna beat them. I'm gonna go with the Commanders too. I got KC. I got the Buffalo Bills getting over the hump. They're gonna send the Ravens until tailspin. And then in that Detroit game, that's risky. Seattle 3-0. Detroit coming off the they beating the Cardinals, but it wasn't really too convincing. I'm gonna go with Seattle in the dome. In the dome, they used to playing in the dome. They play at home and outside, but they're gonna come in the dome and beat Detroit.
All right. Well, those are the pick'ems. We got to keep it going for next week. I'm right back where I'm supposed to be. Pick'ems. About 2 in 1 week. But yeah, it's been a good show. Thank you. This nigga Jordan, but it's been a good show. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe as usual. I put it live on Facebook as well. Tagged everybody here. Look out for our IG channel, Beyond the Trenches, as well. For Jeff, Daryl, Toby, Jordan, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.